but you've also got a decent amount of team fight where the Mortimer's Kisses is going to do a lot. You're going to be able to stun people up in lane and combo together really well with the Fire Snap Cookie. So I don't know. I feel like it's just a well-rounded pick. It means that you're not completely revealing how your lane situation's going to go just yet. Well, I guess if you did pick that, then you would, but mm, I feel like Astra are kind of in a boat where they've got their 1 left and they've got their 5 left, and nothing that they pick now could change that.
So early into the troll, I mean, it feels a bit early there. Most likely Chalice's hero on this one. Um, I don't really see troll anywhere else except for the one. But,
Hmm.
that one a decent pick, but it feels like there's a lot of control for him already. With the Primal
Yeah.
Split, the Aether Remnant, getting a Yule's most likely on the Void Spirit, Enigma there with a Black Hole, Malefice.
It's particularly the Primal Split that I don't like here. You know, the fact that they're just able to toss him up as soon as he pops that Battle Trance, and, you know, what's the point? You know, you're either going to be popping it super early on to try and get an advantage at the start of a team fight and burst down one hero, and then it's just useless, or you're popping it right at the end to try and save yourself. And so if you're just stuck floating up in the air and then you come down with no Battle Trance and no HP, they've got enough magic damage to be able to burst him. It's not like he can get an instant blind off and live. So a little bit questionable to get the troll. I guess it's okay in lane against the Brewmaster, but you're always going to be able to get a decent enough trade. And I like this Morphling as well. This draft's coming together a lot more nicely for Asta than the last one.
Yeah.
You can never count out the FY Rubik though.
Yeah, it seems like it always does so much for them, but I'm gonna have to say LGD, for me at least, they're gonna need a little bit more control than what they're giving to us right now. Telekinesis and potential root from troll is just not gonna be enough. So I could see DK here for Somnus. It's a very
Radiant team back.
good hero for him, and there's some more control. Batrider 3 position. But you still need a 5 for Aster. Couldn't they just go Abaddon Oracle?
Yeah, it's probably what LGD are going to ban out, to be honest. The Oracle, most likely. I don't feel like they've got it. Oh, I guess with an Enigma it's alright, but like the tower push that you can get from having an Abaddon, just the Curse of Avernus is nice.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I definitely go the Oracle.
LGD's turn to ban.
Oracle gives you that save potential, that dispel. Adds to your lockdown too with the Fortune's End potential. And the early damage is good too. We've been talking about Purifying Flames here and there, and it seems like a strong little, I've got it level 3 now, and I can take you out pretty good.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like if they do pick up the Oracle, they could just do...
5 seconds remaining.
That's it though, because like, I was about to say mid-bat, but they don't have the last pick, so it makes it a bit tougher for LGD to go down that pathway, because bat into a Void Spirit mid is always going to be really great, so yeah, they're forced to ban out the Oracle.
Yeah, and that is no surprise. I think if I'm going to go up against anybody, I'd rather it be the Abaddon. He doesn't bring the false promise to the picture. And I think the false promise, especially if you can get right on this Morphling, is huge, because 1 or 2 false promises that get you through the mid game is enough for you to really have a Morphling that can do something. It's those team fights that could be the extra measure that they need to win the game.
Yeah. So what's left here? So it's most likely X-Nova Phoenix, FY Rubik, Chalice Troll, Old 11 Batrider. What is left for Somnus?
Is the DK worth it, or is it just... I mean, it gives you a stun, it's a tanky hero, the right-click damage can be pretty decent at times. Would it be worth maybe going even Viper? Oh, Lina. Okay, so right-click is going to be there, as well as the burst damage with the Laguna Blade.
It's a little bit of extra stun as well, which is
Yeah.
always nice. And Lena's just one of those heroes that, if you last to this stage of the draft, you're pretty happy with picking it because it's good against essentially everything. Or at least okay against everything.
And instead of the Abaddon or the Oracle, they end up going into the Legion Commander. So
Well,
that's a
5
5 Legion. And
Puppy 2.0,
Yeah.
let's go. Asian puppy.
I could see Secret making it work. I don't know if I have the confidence on Astra to make it work, but I feel like that's not giving them enough credit. This is an amazing team with guys who have been there before. You know, especially somebody like Bobica. You know, he's got the experience to make something like this work.
The thing I'm worried about is Legion doesn't have the greatest potential to build into int, right? And mana and things of that nature. It has okay int gain, something like 2-ish or a little bit over 2, I believe. And that press the attack, it's 110 mana. So it's pretty mana intensive to be able to just stay in lane and try and prevent your carry from being abused in that way. So I don't know how I feel about this. Like, yes, you needed to go a direct counter to this Batrider who could just shut down your Morphling, and you need Morphling to pop off this game, absolutely. Like, Shuyan, he's going to create enough space for you, but this is on SCCC to carry. So, I don't know. I want to see what Bobica's item build is. Does he go into a, I don't know, a Bassi ring, or is he just going to buy up a ton of mangoes or clarities?
So I will say he has played this Legion Commander 4 times. He's 3-1 with it, but his most recent match was 30 days ago against SAG with it, and then beyond that was 7 months prior against IG, where they won, and then before that was in 2017. So
It's a while.
yeah, it's consistently been a while. So
The one against SAG, did they win?
yeah, they won. They only lost the one game in 2017. He went 1-4-9, got boots, Necro 2, and
2017 is a completely different game, so like that.
yeah, the SAG
can't
one
count that.
is pretty decent. The lineup with that though is Terrorblade, Mirana, Shadow Demon, Mars.
I mean, I can understand it a bit more with the Terrorblade, right? Like, towers melt, kind of like they just did. I mean, Morphling's a good enough right clicker, but he's no Terrorblade, that's for sure. They've scouted out this observer ward here
30
in front
seconds to
of
battle.
the Roshan pit.
Interesting
It's
spot.
gonna be one.
If that doesn't get scouted immediately, do you think that that's a? I don't think that's a ward spot that's gonna be dewarded. Because that's a good one. You know, it's catches a lot of movement.
It does. Not to say that, like, on the top side, though, they probably aren't in a position to have X-Nova be the one that's making a lot of those rotations, although he's actually down on this bot side, so they've tried to make a little bit of a switcheroo play happen here, but have they scouted it out? Bobica, he's here on this top side, and they can see that he's here with this LGD ward, so they're going to be bamboozled a little bit here, and LGD, they're going to take the W, at least in the musical chairs game. Let's see when they realize and if the TPs come out instantly.
Just taking a look over at FY with this Bleak Hallucination on his set. He's also got the Arcana at 51 wins, so he's got everything unlocked for that. Always nice to see a full Arcana. Some overwhelming odds early on. He's got 2 mangoes to work with. You know, each one costing a third of that mana pool, basically, as he's only at 315 max. And then Chuan against Somnus here. I've seen Somnus dominate with this hero. Chuan, he's got Aether Remnant and Resonant Pulse. But I don't exactly think this is going to be the easiest lane for him.
Even getting that deny.
Try harder.
He's doing pretty well for himself. He's put 1 point into everything. He's got the mango available for that that burst damage. He's able to pop on through. Bobica here with the fact that yeah, they were able to dodge that Batrider lane means that you don't have to put the early point into the press the attack. He's got overwhelming odds early on, helping to secure that range creep. Of course, Morphling's range quite low, so not wanting to get punished in that way.
Just old 11 on this Batrider and up against XSS, it's really making this lane difficult for the Brewmaster. Just constantly stacks a sticky napalm, and he's actually foregone putting a skill point on either Flame Break or Firefly.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really need it at this stage. Right now, all XXS is really worried about is getting experience in the lane. He's going to be able to transition through just fine. I think he wants to put a few more points into that Cinder Brew just so that he can farm up on his own. Have that do a lot of the damage for him without having to stand right next to him.
FY getting a D-ward there of a sentry. He's got the telekinesis on XSS, and he wanted to get him out from blocking that camp, but still did.
I like the idea. Wanting to get those deep pull-throughs, considering that Old 11 is able to pressure him so hard into the lane that you'll be fighting underneath your own tower, and normally XXS would be happy with that, but not this game.
FY does spot Fade, and this is what we saw from Fade in the first game. The only difference was the fact that it just felt like it was there at the top of the net worth, and then like one or two fights happened, especially the Primal Roar that stopped the Black Hole, and then it was Enigma was kind of like gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels as though you know, it's teetering on the edge. The
They're
Enigma
trying
game.
to play aggressively here onto Chalice. I'm liking it from Aster. Oh, he might be caught here in this jungle.
SCCC not pressuring up with that. Thought
I think
might.
he's happy enough to get a couple of those last hits. Doesn't want to miss out on too much and deny a couple creeps as well.
They might get XSS if he's not too careful either. If FY can get across this creep wave and get a telekinesis on him, he is in a lot of trouble, and he might burn out here for first blood. 7 stacks of sticky napalm. He even uses the stick, but he still dies. So those charges go away, and they get themselves the kill. Not only that, he tried to TP out, gets canceled. That means he's got the long walk back.
Will Fade stay in this jungle and just continue to farm up? It looks like he will, so could be a little bit of experience lost to this lane. Not all too much, but still not what you want. And that's what this deep observer ward that's come out from LGD just allows you to do. You have complete understanding of where Fade is, and makes it so that it's going to be a rough game for XXS, no matter how you slice it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You know, another one of those things that X-Nova just provides to her. Not even just X-Nova. Like, I love to praise X-Nova and his ability to get deep wards down and always be in the proper positioning. But it's the duo between him and FY. They pull it off together. And it's so impressive when you look at the kind of vision that LGD is able to get from their supports. XSS trying to do something here, but not that easy, and level 6 is picked up for the Batrider. Somnus, he's in some trouble. Astrostat Fable comes in. That should probably keep Somnus alive. Looks like FY wants to protect the haste here so Somnus can fill up his bottle. It looked like maybe they'd come around and Enigma would go for potentially a Malefice play on Lina, but completely gave up once the Fable came in.
XXS as well. He doesn't have his primal split just yet, so this is the perfect time to make a play.
They come over. FY, does he even want to dive? They're going to have to push these creeps in to go after him.
They've got the vision up on the high ground, so they know it was coming. He played uber defensively, just standing in those trees to the left. And well, the bonus is that if Somnus rather is just able to quickly run back to the lane, doesn't lose out on all too much. And FY, he is a stacking beast right now. Already has a triple stack above this mid tier 1 tower. He's trying to get this additional one available too. So, Somnus already leading the net worth, and just going to try and extend it through here. Maxing out that Dragon Slave for the easy clear potential.
SCCC is not having a good time in this lane. He is 30-6. Certainly not a fun time right now, and he is getting pressured pretty heavily.
That was always going to be the danger with LGD going with this lane swap and effectively finding it. Oh, they actually get a kill on Total 11.
Yeah,
So
Total 11 dove XSS and now ends up dying to the Enigma.
Dire's middle tower is
that's a
under
big deal.
attack.
That is a very big deal, because he was having such a great game to start off, you know, completely denying out what this Beastmaster was trying to do. Well, Keen Optic's going to be real handy for Asta too.
I mean, even with that kill, you look at where the Brew is, and he is 1,000 gold behind where Old 11's at. And he's
True, but
going right into Boots
how many
trouble.
times would you expect this position for Enigma to be the one leading your team
Radiant's
on the
top
net
tower
worth? Like,
is
that
under
is
attack.
never a good sign.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a laning phase that somehow Aster need to make their way out of, with their deficit not being massive. And I think that you've got heroes here for LGD that can utilize this amazing laning phase to now pressure the Aster side and potentially shut them down for the game. Like, it's almost seems like it's that close to like, I know it's an even net worth, and I think that maybe I'm stretching a bit, but you've got Somnus at level 8 moving around, Old 11 ready with his lasso already.
I'm liking that Somnus and Chalice are moving together. Somnus not wanting to go forward, just in case they had any sort of sentry vision. They should be able to catch up Bobika here.
Goes north. That pushes him away from the Morphling if they want to change their objective and go for him and dive him under the tower.
Invis is basically gone though on the Lena, so you don't have that that possibility, unfortunately. Could look to go for the outpost though in the meantime, just while he's in the neighborhood. Oh, see, you can't get too close.
3 heroes top. Of course, I look to
Radiant's
top
bottom
right as
tower is
SCCC
under
goes
attack.
down.
Dire's structures
But
are
yeah, they get the
fortified.
kill there on the Morphling. They're actually going to steal the outpost up tops themselves. So
They'll get it back.
and there's the Astral step forward. They're going to look to get the kill there on FY, and that's a kill onto Rubik. Not much more, at least just not yet.
Not yet. And
Dire's
who's
top tower is under attack. Radiant's
Old
bottom
11 doing his
tower
best to
is
kite
under
them away
attack.
from the tower, make sure that this push is delayed. Exactly what he needs to be doing right now. He's also so close to that Boots of Travel, so good luck catching up to him. It means that they are going to rely pretty heavily on Bobika actually to try and catch him out, and with this position 5,
Dire's
you don't
top
have the
tower
net worth
is
to
under
build up
attack.
into these greedier items like the Blink Dagger.
Seems like duel may not be really an option here for Bobika.
Yeah, I mean, the way you use a duel as a position 5 Legion Commander is a little bit more like a Bane. It's like locking someone out of a fight as opposed to going for a kill. So I think he'll try, if he can, to try and use it onto something like this Phoenix or the Rubik rather than one of the key cores.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Speaking of ultimates though, we've got a few coming up now. Oh, Somnus.
Oh, over mid, Primal Split gets used, and they've got the stun onto the Lena. who has a Yule, so survivable for a second longer. Can he get away from the hands of XSS? The stun comes in, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Laguna Blade right before he goes down with the Supernova, not getting off. Lasso hits onto Bobica, but still, it's just not enough for them to get anything out of it to start. However, it starts to turn around. Juan goes out, Fade's gone, Chalice moving in with the Battle Trance onto XSS, and they'll make it a third. Primal Split was used by the Rubik, and he'll come back to form.
Yeah, remember when I said it was hard to steal that Primal Split? I lied. Turns out if you've got good positioning, you've got the vision, it's not too bad. But yeah, definitely able to make that turnaround happen in a nice way. It was an aggressive Supernova, it has to be said, for X-Nova, but at the end of the day, if you're able to get 2 cores in exchange, you're always going to be relatively happy. I mean, I say core, it was the Enigma that fell down, but he's the one that's at the top of Asta's net worth right now. So essentially, he is the core.
Yeah. It didn't look like LGD was going to get much out of that to start. Things really started to come their way towards the second half of that fight.
Yeah, Somnus only had the Yule Scepter delivered to him mid-fight, so he wasn't able to dodge out a lot of that early damage. But now he too is going for this Boots of Travel, so just wants to be able to push out these waves a little bit. They've got the confidence in Chalice that if they give him that little bit of extra farm, which you can see he's going for with the Battle Fury queued up, he's going to be able to carry the game for them.
X-Nova. My god.
What's he doing?
Well, Somnus...
Stacks?
Yeah, Somnus got one of the stacks. I think X-Nova needed a little bit of help, but he stacked this camp, and this camp. And it's just beautiful.
Phoenix things.
Yeah, it's not a hero that I'm too proficient on, so for me it's one of those things that I watch and I just go, I wish I was that good. He made it look so easy.
Yeah. There are a lot of individual players that make flashy plays like that happen, and you know, X-Nova of course being one of the main ones. Tiger as well in the EU region, fantastic on that 4 Rubik, especially on the Radiant side. Does that with the Tri-Camp area as well. And he's got Supernova available, although no Fire Spirit, so I don't think he'll want to try and contest this Tier 1 tower.
Not entirely worth it, especially when you've got Chalice who's continuing to get space. He would love to have this Battlefield. So, you know, thinking maybe he could have had it a little bit earlier. But
Perhaps,
that's maybe pushing it.
I mean, he's got 3 kills. He's pushed out the bottom Tier 1 tower. It allows him to take this more aggressive farm the Ancients up, and, well, they're going to find Bobica.
Yeah, they'll find Bobica and Primal Split from FY again with the LSA. They'll hit the stun. They'll get the kill. Bobica gone. 6-4 in favor of LGD. It's not the flashiest of games right now, but, you know, it's very well done by LGD so far.
Trying to go for a bit of the mind games with the placement of that previous Observer Ward, but X-Nova good enough to realize that at this level, that's what a lot of players are going to try and do. Places the second one that gets both the bottom left high ground as well as just the general low ground. Gets rid of a lot of that vision. So now, the Radiant Jungle is an entirely unsafe place for Asta to be. You've got Fade sitting down here, but I don't know if this is what you want to be doing with all of the net worth that's sitting on top of him. He needs to be making a bit more aggressive plays happen. Pops that Necro Book just to be able to push the wave out on his own. Nighttime, so going to be revealed only at the end of the aggression coming through from the Phoenix, but backing off, realizing that, okay, well, we might have overstayed our welcome a little bit. Go back to farming, Battle Fury acquired by Chalice, and he's going to start accelerating further and further ahead now.
X-Nova breaks the smoke of XSS and Juan. It's okay with that. Blink Dagger picked up now for Old 11, and I believe Boots of Travel, yeah, for Somnus.
Yeah, so he moves oh wait, Somnus has it as well. Goddamn. That's a lot of movement speed. I mean, plus 110 just on your boots is insane. With that Firefly popped as well as the Windlace. It gives him, I believe, 504 movement speed, which, I mean, there's no comparison for anyone right now on Asta maybe Bobica, if he gets a 5-man overwhelming odds with the Tranquil Boots up, will move similar to that. But yeah, it's a rough early game. It's just, what are they going to be able to do? We've still yet to see a Black Hole come out at the 16-minute mark.
Lasso onto the Morphling, and they were looking for the Black Hole. Wow! Stopping Fate in his tracks, but still not enough. Old 11 dueled and dead. They just didn't have the numbers up here for LGD. And I'm surprised at a move like that, but maybe they just didn't have the proper information knowing that there were 4 heroes ready to go on that.
Could have been much worse if not for that split-second Yule's timing coming through on Somnus there. Lots of tips coming through. Ooh, a clumsy net. Nice pickup for X-Nova especially. It's that 17-minute mark, so yeah, we're seeing LGD in particular start to pick up a lot of those neutral items. Chalice, of course, always going to be able to farm them up quicker than Aster.
Dire's top tower is under
Chalice
attack.
this entire time, he's 3-0, but feels like he's just been in the Radiant jungle the entire time.
Yep. I mean, it takes away a huge portion of the map, and I mean, good on Aster. They move into the Dire jungle, but it just feels like you're a little less safe there, considering you've got this pickup potential coming through from Old 11. He's moving like a bat out of hell right now, and yeah, just TP's up after shoving out this wave. Will he get out?
Oh man.
Speed kills. That is the big takeaway that comes from this, because while you had a couple of heroes chasing him, Chalice on the bottom side shoves in the wave, denies it up to the tower, takes your Ancients, and I mean, we're seeing more and more teams actually prioritize picking Dire occasionally as well, just because of the ability to take control over this Ancient camp area.
Chalice continuing to farm, now a 3k lead jumping up. And you got 10k net worth out on this troll with the Battle Fury. It's really starting to get more and more for him, as he's almost got the Sange and Yasha.
Look at Aster all clumped up together. They're playing a little bit scared. SC on the front lines, and Xian popping the Arcane Rune, but man, just that spidey sense that they've got. They're like, something's happening. They've been quiet for a little bit too long and needing to get away. FY might be the sacrificial lamb, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't be the worst. Even he's going to get free.
Holds the TP, doesn't commit to anything just yet. The rest of the team is spread out throughout the map, so I don't think they're coming back down here, but FY could certainly look to stay, as he's now got vision on Juan over bottom, forming this wave.
Radiant's middle tower is
And
under
there's the
attack.
TP back to the tier 2. So right into safety.
For now, you've got a lot of people clumping up around him, and oh, yeah, okay, 4 staff nearly completed as well. What's he grabbed there? Oh, an early
Waveform.
Lincoln Sphere.
Radiant's middle tower
On
is
his
under
triple
attack.
C. So he's just focusing on not dying right now, trusting the fact that you're going to get a lot of damage done with this Enigma, which
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
it's nice to think about, you know, getting a... Oh,
Is under attack.
thought he might have nearly tried for the instant black hole there, but just wanted to break the trees. I don't know if this is the worthwhile trade that you want to make, though. You're losing this top area. It means that now Roshan is opened up for LGD, and they've got the lineup to be able to do it. You can just toss the troll in there, and he should be fine.
Morphwing's made his way towards top once again. The rest of the team's not with him this time around, but LGD won't take that opportunity to then pounce.
Invisibility.
SNY completed, only 700 gold or so away, so look for that to be completed, and then I think Chalice will start rotating up more towards that top side, take the Roshan, and look to take some additional tier 2 towers based off that. Still 0 black holes used in 21 minutes.
Yeah, not as loose with it as he was in the first game. It's And it seems like an easier game for him to get done, but at the same time, and now at this point, Yule's telekinesis.
Bobica? Little deep there, buddy.
In trouble. XS also caught. All of a sudden, telekinesis, waveform, Laguna Blade. They'll get the kill there. They've stunned up Juan. They get the kill on Bobica. Aether Remnant locks him in, but they dissimulate onto the other side. Old 11 go with the Firefly. Good Yules, but I don't think it'll be enough. They've got the lasso. They'll commit it. They'll get themselves 3. And where does it leave them? Right outside the pit.
Oh, man, they really don't want to give this up, but you don't have a Void Spirit. I don't know if this is the play.
Is he going to black hole from right outside the pit? I don't think you really can.
I mean, Brewmaster's coming back. He's TPing in, trying to get there as quickly as he can.
Morph can sneak it. You know, wait for them to get it low and go with the waveform, try and get that Aegis. Now the Primal Split's committed on this, and they're still waiting for the proper black hole. He's got the Blink Dagger on cooldown for 4 more seconds, so he's waiting for his moment to go in and get a black hole here, but he needs to get more than just Chalice. Chalice is just not going to be enough. And now Primal Split's done.
Void Spirit. Void Spirit's here, but Somnus as well realizing, well, you don't have your Void Spirit. I had no mana, so I've been able to go back to my base, refill my bottle, and well, even a Shadow Blade coming out for him, so he might be trying to get a cheeky play off here onto the backside. I think you just got to try and commit for this, right? Like, SCCC, he's around, and Roche is low-ish. You've still got a lot of good teamfight ultimates available.
Both bail from the pit.
Man, there's some pings happening on the bottom side. They're saying, well, this is pressuring in. They're going to need to address this soon. Let's try and make a play happen still around the Roche pit, but
Another smoke?
man, this is edge of your seat stuff. All ultimates available, no primal split. XXS, he's down here, tanking up a little bit of damage from Somnus, but he's still got that TP scroll, so he can join that at any time he wants.
Chalice back into the pit. Aether Remnant down. Now the rest of the team coming through. Overwhelming odds. Astral step forward. Dissimulates there, but Juan out. So Sunray to keep Chalice healthy. And Somnus coming through. He lands the stun onto the Void Spirit. Now, press the attack. Backs him off. SCCC. He's turned into the Troll to dissimulate for some space. And now the Fable thrown out from FY to Juan. So
No one wants to use any spells. That's the situation we're in right now.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Smoke once again. Aether Remnant thrown through. Hits on Roche. And blink forward from XSS. They've got the lasso into the black hole. This might be enough. Troll goes down, as does Old 11. But the stolen black hole FY! Oh, almost enough, but Chuan gets to the back lines and is able to lock him down with an Aether Remnant. FY, he shows that you give him a bit too much space, and he was really able to accomplish quite a bit. Old 11 ball back on this, but he's hit with the Malefice. XSS, he's right here ready with a blink as well as a Thunderclap. They use the Primal Split. Old 11, I don't know what you're getting out of this. You're actually getting nothing and maybe even dying back. Locked down, stunned up, killed off, gone again, and now, all of a sudden, duel out onto the Phoenix, who tries to Icarus dive and steal this. LGD are throwing body after body after body and not getting anything out of it. And they're going to lose this Roche.
Well, indeed, and that's the team fight that Aster needed. SCCC now, he's got that luxury of being able to sit back a little bit. He's finished his E-Blade. Be really impactful against this Troll Warlord as well, although he's only got the status resist coming from the Sanjin Yasha, so it's not going to be all too bad, but yeah, even FY with a fantastic steal, 4-man black hole, not enough when you've got all of that damage just sitting in the graveyard. Now, so do we have BKBs coming out just yet? Just on the Enigma, so they want to be able to burst down this Enigma. They're assuming that he's going to take a little bit of damage. BKB Black Hole, of course, not wanting it to be easily interrupted, but we've nearly got a Ag Scepter finished up here from Somnus, so he's going to be able to slice through all of that.
And yeah, just 100 gold away. Does he go Silver Edge after this Ags?
Is under attack.
Don't think it's really needed. I think you just want that little bit of surprise potential against the against the Enigma. You don't want to give that
Dire's
amount of
top tower
lockdown.
is under
I think after
attack.
this, something like a Hex would be much more viable. You know, you've got some save for yourself through 2 escapes. You've got now the damage through the Ag Scepter. Either a Hex or just going right-click, because I feel like regardless of how you might want to build her, I mean, he's gone into cast range and Light Strike array damage, so he's going like Magic Cleaner, but I feel like it just drops off way too much. You need to go into things like the Daedalus to stay relevant as this game goes on.
So looking towards Lincoln's old 11, by the way, he's looking for a BKB. And Chalice hoping to finish off this Reaver sometime soon. Bottom old 11.
He's down here.
Got Bobica right there, so now old 11 knowing that they've got themselves the Legion. Telekinesis is out. Can they get the kill onto the Batrider in time? No, they can't. They'll die afterwards. Supernova's right there. Laguna Blade hits into Bobica, but, well, X-Nova's dead immediately.
I don't know if Duel's the thing to steal either if you're FY. You know, they're not going to be able to lock down anyone with massive impact. At the end of the day, you might think, oh, we got the Legion Commander. That is a +5 Legion Commander. It is not that big of a deal.
Potentially a duel into a Ags the Laguna Blade gets you a kill.
I guess, but, you know.
Gotta get that damage on the Rubik. That extra 18.
You do. I feel like he's going to go the Spell Amp as well, considering he's already invested into these earlier things.
Radiant structures are
I mean, a
fortified.
Telescope would be nice for him regardless, but yeah. Vambrace being picked up, it's put on Int mode, and
Dire's
he's going for a
structures
Lincoln,
are
so
fortified.
putting everything onto Chalice to be able to carry in the form of right-click. Did they even have a... Okay, they've got a
Dire's
Spirit Vessel on
bottom
X-Nova,
tower
that's
is under
okay.
attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So they let that tower drop. CCC quietly gets that Lincoln's, gets that E-Blade, and
Dire's bottom tower
next is the
under attack.
BKB. Paladin Sword is picked up by XSS. That's an amazing one to get.
It sure is handy. How long we got left? Minute 20 until this Aegis is reclaimed, and we are about, I want to say, 600 to 800 gold away from BKB on SCCC. He should have his level 20 as well shortly, so waveform attack targets just gives him an additional life in this fight when he's got that Morgul mask finished. Don't know if he'll be able to farm it up quickly enough though to get full value out of both his item timings and the Aegis.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But LGD seem pretty happy to just avoid for now. Satanic completed on Chalice, that's going to be a big deal, just being able to stand and fight, let his team do a lot of work. We haven't seen quite yet the supernovas that have been game-changing. They've been popped every single time, I believe. So,
Radiant's middle tower is
and
under
old 11
attack.
as well, his impact has certainly dwindled from where it was at the start of the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just letting this
Yeah,
top tower get
Aegis
hit.
about to be reclaimed in the next 10 or so seconds, so Astor wisely, they're backing off. They're making sure that they retain the outpost in the Dire jungle, and after that they're trying to position themselves to perhaps go for another
Dire's
kill.
top
What was just
tower
delivered
is under
through?
attack.
I think it was the Paladin Sword, just given over to SCCC.
He's got that BKB too, so. Really looking like that fight is super detrimental to the chances of LGD winning. Not that this game is out of their hands by any means, although Dota Plus may think that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's in trouble. The sun hits. They pop the Lincolns, but now the black hole is out, immediately stolen by this Rubik, who's been silenced. I don't think he's going to get it off. But the sun comes in. FY Malefice. There's the Laguna Blade into the Fade Bolt. They do get the kill there onto this Void Spirit, but FY never gets the stolen black hole away. They've got the kill on old 11 as well as FY Supernova out, but can he get through it quickly enough? Everybody's here. Again, X-Nova cannot find a Supernova to do anything for them. Force staff away. Chalice still going in. He's got the Battle Trance available still. Stolen Sunray. Now Chalice on it. Fade coming in. He doesn't have Black Hole, but there's the E-Blade. Satanic available to be popped. But a 3-for-1 at the end of the day in favor of Aster.
I wanted to use it just yet. They're trying to re-engage again onto this Morphling.
They've got Laguna Blade. SCCC, Lincoln's pop. Laguna Blade in! Oh!
He was morphing agility.
God.
He just started it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunate. Where are the tips? That's what I want to see.
The
we saw
long
tips
con.
flowing out before that, but that is a tippable moment.
He has no
No
buyback.
buyback. 1 minute.
Oh.
We don't know.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. It's just like, now you're down to tier 3 and potentially more. You don't have Black Hole or anything to follow this up. LGD might off that kill, stolen the game. But I say that, Old 11 just gets dunked on hard. And Fade gets credit for that kill. It's at least a set of racks. Astral step forward, silences are out. He pops the Satanic. Now he has to go and get his health back, and he will do so by hitting up Bobica. Telekinesis, Somnus. Has Laguna Blade available, doesn't have the mana for it. So kind of short the mana at the moment. Has 20 charges on that wand, and now LGD going the other way without the Morphling available for another 10 seconds.
That's a handy steal from FY, although he might go down for it.
Astral Step, and there's the duel. Even more duel damage to this 5-position Legion Commander. Only 46, nothing too crazy, nothing to write home about, but another kill nonetheless there for Aster on the exit.
Again, pause 5 Legion doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? Like, you just want to be able to... He's got the telescope for the additional cast range, not something that you normally see picked up by him, but, you know, if he's in the middle of these team fights or standing around some of his more ranged heroes, it's nice for the extra attack range too. Now it's becoming a lot harder to catch out Fade because he's got the Lincoln Sphere on himself as well as the BKB, so you're not instantly just going to be able to even just steal the BKB, steal the Black Hole on Rubik, right? Like, you need to get through that Lincoln Sphere beforehand. I think not enough credit is being given to Chuyan as well. Just he's making these hyper-aggressive plays, like even in that previous team fight, they moved in and Chuyan died, but because he was just on that Rubik disrupting a lot of the pressure that he was going to try and use to counter-initiate with that stolen Black Hole, he wasn't able to get it off, and, you know, just basically chain CC'd from 100 to 0. Oh, that is a quick Roshan as well.
You're going to try and get it. It's not the easiest one to get. However, they do smoke behind enemy lines, and they've got Black Hole available.
Still daytime for the next 40 seconds as well, so it's a
Ooh,
scary prospect to be running into. 2 ships in the night. They're just gonna miss each other.
Radiant are scanning.
What's the vision look like for both teams?
Look at FY's positioning. I feel like he's so ready to steal something. Blink forward into the lasso. Fade. Waiting. Looking for the opportunity. There's the blink with the Black Hole. FY, though, so far behind. And now they got the kill on a Somnus. Oh, boy. FY actually didn't even get anything out of this. And now the Laguna Blade comes in. They'll get the kill on a Xuan. Buybacks from Old 11 as well as Somnus. They'll get the kill into a second. They look over at SCCC. The link has been popped on both Somnus as well as the Morphling. They've got the root with the clumsy net. Supernova behind them. Flame break. This is good with the Yule's gonna pop. Finally goes off for the first time this game, and they will kill off SCCC. He is gone for a minute and a half.
Perhaps I was hidden for too long.
Radiant's
Onto the
middle
tier
barracks
4, so you gotta assume.
They're just going, yeah. No ultimates available still for Aster.
Blink,
It's looking horrible.
Thunderclap, as well as the Astral Step forward. Icarus Dive comes in. They're gonna start to go for these tier 4 towers, see if they can get anything going here.
are fortified.
But there's the glyph, and there's the exit. They can go back and get Roche.
They've got complete vision around this Roche pit as well. The Illuminati triangle is here again in all areas. High ground, river, and top of the stairs. So free Roche and cheese coming through. But it's not like they got it for free either. A couple of buybacks expended there by LGD to be able to make that happen.
assume you give this to
Shogun as
Somnus,
well.
since he was the one who bought back of the two.
Yeah, he had a huge impact in that team fight, and again, yeah, he has gone full spell effectiveness in these team fights, right? Like, he's got the spell amp, he's got the Dragon Slave cooldown, he wants to spam that out every 3 seconds, and even now going into the Kaya and Yasha. Not something uber traditional.
Regeneration.
There's certainly a value by getting a doubles kill right at the start of that fight, and, oh, sorry, in the middle of that team fight. And just the ability to be able to rejoin so easily. Always going to be advantageous with this Boots of Travel. Oh, not the Boots of Travel. I mean, the courier, sorry. Had an Aeon Disc coming out for Chuyan. Popped it nice and early on the Brewmaster, meant that he could get off that Primal Split in the team fight, but it's just not quite having the same level of impact as you might hope.
Pings up towards top. Heroes starting to come together here for the side of Aster, but Blink, Thunderclap, now the dust onto Somnus. They're going to look to take this Aegis out very quickly, and they should be successful in doing so. Just barely survives. Astral Step will finally finish him off. Fade blinks forward. He's got the Black Hole. Lincoln's has been popped. He can't commit it now in the fear of giving it up to FY, but Somnus did twice. He bought back earlier, so he's gone for 2 minutes. Chalice running around the roses here, going for Bulbika. Black Hole gets committed, and it looks like they're just not going to have enough to save him. He does, in fact, have the buyback. The duel is out, but Bulbika, he will not win this one.
Oh, they're going on a chase. They want to try and catch up to FY, but still 10 seconds away from that next Astral Step. Means he's going to be able to get away just in time. Losing the LC, not the worst. Gem's sitting on the ground there. No one's paid notice to it just yet, but yeah. Perhaps a little bit slow on the rotation coming through from X-Nova. You know, you might sometimes need to just pop down that Supernova in a super risky spot because you did have buyback on that Phoenix, and your Sunray is just as effective at this level of the game as the Supernova is. So just to use it as a pseudo-taunt to try and take some attention away from your Lina who doesn't have buyback, it's a pretty big deal.
Allowed Somnus to just kind of get overwhelmed in that fight, and dying twice is not the feeling and not the situation that you want to be in if you're LGD.
And the most infuriating item in the game rears its ugly head again. The repair kit preventing, even with this Lina with no buyback, from being able to take the high ground. You know, Old 11, he did some nice lane cutting. They pushed the wave out, and the tower's going to be healed all the way back up to full.
TPing to the bottom outpost.
Yeah, just creating more space across all areas of the map. He was assuming that they started to move towards him on the top side. And so he's like, well, see ya. I'm outie.
So this will give enough time for Somnus to come back up, who's going Yashikaya. So getting that spell amplification. Has, oh my god, he has the Timeless Relic as well. Did he have that in the last fight?
Don't think so. It would have come up just at the 37-minute mark, so they've just been farming it right now.
Yeah.
I think he had the Vambrace previously.
That should help. Nice.
So who's holding on to what? FY still got the
Ooh.
repair kit.
Who just got that leveler? Things kind of just went real fast on that one. Morphling got a leveler.
Oh, Spell Prism.
Yeah, and then a Spell Prism here for the Lina. In the backpack for now. And actually sent all the way back.
Give it to Rubik. You gotta give it to Rubik.
He's got repair kit that he's holding on to, but yeah, I would assume FY takes it.
Yeah, here it comes. It looks like they might be grouping up for a smoke as well.
Oh, he's got
Just saying,
axe.
yeah. Yep.
Interesting. So FY can really start doing a lot
Oh,
with
man.
this, and we'll see if he's able to do a lot with this. Chow's moving forward with the battle trance. FY's popping these Lincolns left and right, but they've got themselves SSC in a bad spot. They've also got themselves the lasso onto this Enigma. Laguna Boy comes in. They'll get that kill on a fade. They'll take him out for 80 seconds. He does have buyback. The BKB being popped by Old 11, as well as the Supernova coming through from X-Nova. Astral Step goes forward, FY, right across the bow of Juan. But he's got the silence onto a couple of these heroes. Press the attack comes in from Bobica on Juan to help him get out of this one as they bought back on XSS, who died just a moment ago. They might even look to re-engage the Astro Step as well as the Aether Remnant. That locks up old 11. But now Malefice coming through on a Chalice Fade, looking for the opportunity, but Juan's already dead. SCCC trying to man fight on this, but now there's the Abyssal onto this Enigma. They'll kill him off again. They took out Bobica. They're without a Void Spirit, without an Enigma for over 100 seconds. And LGD, wow. A great fight from them. I don't think they lost anybody in that exchange, and no, they did not, and they'll buy back on Bobica.
I can understand wanting to wait until, you know, it's not going to get stolen, it's not going to get interrupted, maybe wait until that BKB was back off cooldown, but, well, there's not going to be a next game at this rate. Oh, he's gone in deep.
BKB, FY might pay dearly for that one. He'll buy back immediately. Haven't exactly got the tier 4s just yet, but they will stun up Bobica, who just bought back and will end up dead again.
No glyph remaining.
And they do have the Laguna Blade, so XSS still needs to be careful. And he gets hit up very hard despite the Minotaur Horn. The roots coming through on SCCC continually. Now they've got the stun lock on him. He'll waveform back. They're not focusing these objectives at all. But at the end of the day, there's still 40 seconds till either the Enigma or the Void Spirit come back. So finally, they get the tier 4s. They've got the Yules out on the Brewmaster. They'll look for the game. They'll look for the finish. GG is called by Bobica, and LGD have eliminated Aster. And they will move on to the decider match against CDC.
Yes, they will. At the end of the day, it was a bit more action-packed once a few of those cooldowns started to become available when they had, you know, the Aegis to play with, the cheese to play with, but at the end of the day, that buyback just, it wasn't it coming through. LGD was some good team fight decisions as well, focusing the Brewmaster after he split, and they're actually able to take down all 3 primals. So, handy victory for them. You'd have to say it's a pretty disappointing showing for Aster, especially after how that laning stage went. It seemed like a pretty convincing win for them to start the game, getting away with the position 5 Legion Commander, but it just didn't quite have the level of impact that you were hoping for as the game went on.
Yeah, LGD spots that it really looked like maybe they had given the game back to Aster, but Aster didn't exactly capitalize on any of it. Like, this game never was net worth in their favor. Experience kind of dips there, but like, it didn't feel like they did enough with LGD's mistakes, because there certainly were some, and I would say that fight around the Roche pit when they got that Aegis on SCCC, they didn't take as much advantage of as they could have.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope either Repair Kit's just straight up removed or heavily nerfed in the upcoming patch, just because they had a solid opportunity to push up onto that high ground. It probably wouldn't have been for too long. Maybe it would have been just a tier 3 that they were able to secure rather than the full lane of racks, because you did have old 11 cutting the waves, but just to eliminate that as a possibility, just through a single item that you have no control over whether you get it or you don't, it just seems a little bit silly. So, Aster, unfortunate that it has to end for them this way, but LGD live to fight another day.
And so LGD live to fight against CDC, and that is just under 2 days from now. Tomorrow is going to be RNG IG, and then eHome Immortal Vici in their winners and elimination match, and that is it for tonight. So I'm your caster BCop, joined here by Denag. We are done for the day. Hope you guys had a good one, and hope you guys continue to have a good one. So we'll see you guys hopefully soon. Have a good one.